and I'll adjust everything as need be.
Alrighty.
Now, do you want me to start with the music?
May as well.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
Aren't you supposed to intro the show? What is happening? I feel weird.
I feel weird too, but there's something on top of my head. It's green. It's icky.
Bob.
That's fine. Yep. And yep, you're okay too.
What did you do?
This is Pamela Kuhn, and the curtain is up on Center Stage, the show about the arts and the artists behind their work. Well, the holidays are upon us, and where would we be if I didn't have my filmmaker friend Matt Mickelson in the studio to cover our yearly rundown of the favorite Christmas films in our lives. But today we are going to go down holiday lane with trivia about our favorite movies at Christmas. I mean, we really need to know the backstory about a film like Die Hard, arguably one of the best Christmas films of all times. In fact, 20th Century Fox formally admitted that this is a Christmas movie, stating, "It's the greatest Christmas story ever told." The debate goes on. But hey, there we are. Matt, hi. How are you?
Good. What's happening?
It's so great to have you.
I actually got to look up some little factoids and had some homework. This is fun.
You wrote things down.
I wrote things down.
I am so proud of you. And I've got to tell all my listeners, Matt brought me hot chocolate. We're sitting here pigging out on hot chocolate and cookies, all of us. I mean, this really is Christmas, right?
Yeah. Got my Thanksgiving pants on and a lot of give.
I love it. Okay,
The season of giving.
I know. I'm looking at our clock. This is going to count down so fast. This show's going to be over in a nanosecond, I'm sure. So let's head right on into the Christmas movie list. So, what are your choices this time around?
I went with, of course, Christmas Family Vacation,
Ooh.
Elf, A Christmas Story, It's a Wonderful Life, Die Hard, and Scrooged.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Scrooged and Elf.
Because it's
you had
hilarious.
to get those in.
Yeah. They're quintessential.
Okay, go for it, buddy.
The big speech at the end of Scrooged about, what the holidays are all about?
Yeah,
Come on.
It's Bill Murray, and
some of that was ad-libbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the stuff on the end when he was, feed me Seymour, because he was just coming off of the movie with the plant in it, the Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, since we're talking about it, 1987 was when Scrooge was being filmed and directed by Richard Donner. And Paramount was going to make everyone work through Christmas, but Richard Donner said, "I don't think so," and fired the whole crew on Christmas Eve, and then rehired them back after Christmas.
He's got style.
Just so the crew could have Christmas Day off with their families, and all of Bill Murray's three brothers are in the movie.
Really?
And yep. And Carol Kane also felt really bad about abusing Bill because she got to hit him a lot as her character, as the fairy Tinkerbell princess or whatever that was. And she actually tore his gum when she pulled his lip. And they had to shut down and go to the hospital.
Oh, my God.
But aside from that, it was great. And,
that's interesting. I love Carol Kane.
And those were the three little factoids. And of course, Marion from Indiana Jones is in it.
She is?
Yeah.
You can see how many times I've seen this film,
Oh,
right?
jeez. Well, you have some homework to do.
It's right up there with Elf.
Yes.
I'm letting you watch those. I mean, okay, viewer, listeners, I'm sorry if you really like Scrooged and Elf, but I'm not the biggest fans. But anyway, yeah, that's
well, all those
interesting.
movies give homage to all the ones you care about, So like it's
you mean like White Christmas
and Christmas Story, and apparently White Christmas is not a Christmas movie.
What?
Or something. I think I heard a little tidbit. I don't know. I could be totally wrong.
No.
It just happens to be a play that takes place it something that's about Christmas? I don't know.
Like Die Hard.
Yeah, exactly. Well, enlighten me.
Like Paramount said, it's the greatest Christmas story ever told.
And then
I expect
Nakatomi Plaza was a 20th Century Fox building, by
That's
the way.
right.
Yeah.
They didn't have to go very far to go to work.
No.
And they had to depend on the rooms that
What's
were
going
empty.
on the 30th floor? We're shooting a movie.
Just explosions. But hey, I've got White Christmas. So the thing I love about White Christmas that I didn't realize, but I always guessed, was that first musical number, Sisters, that Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye do, where they come out in the girls' outfits. That was not scripted. They were playing around. They loved it. They dressed up. And the director, Michael Curtiz, found it so funny that he filmed it and worked it into the movie. And you can see them all laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, as if it's, this big
Danny
ad-lib
Kaye
moment.
is a scary genius. If you ever get a chance to see him in any of his movies, just the amount of tongue twisting and full speed,
hilarity.
Yeah, just
he was
the
a
witch's
genius.
brew, the brew that is true. He just goes on, and he's just.
And apparently he kept the whole cast in stitches all the time with his antics, backstage, and they'd have to retake because nobody could keep a straight face. It's kind of like Billy Crystal in Princess Bride, when he was in his scene, Miracle Max. I mean, oh my God. But you know what? It almost wasn't Danny Kaye.
Oh,
it
really?
was supposed to have been Fred Astaire, because Astaire and Crosby wanted to work together again. And then Astaire couldn't do it, and then it was suddenly Donald O'Connor, who would have been amazing. But he became ill, and then it's Danny Kaye. So
you never know.
The right thing happened. And Vera Ellen with the size 2-inch waist, Danny Kaye's little love squeeze. Okay, she never sang in that film. That was always overdubbed by Trudy Stevens.
Oh.
I had to search who that was, because some people didn't know, and it was rumored to be Trudy Stevens, but apparently it was her. And Vera Ellen was she started dancing at 10, but she was a rockette by the time she was 18. That waist. How could she eat?
I guess she didn't. I don't know.
And we know that there was a huge age difference between Bing and Rosemary Clooney, like 25 years.
Oh, really?
And interestingly, this was the first film shot in VistaVision, which was Paramount's big project. I remember doing a show with film historian Foster Hirsch, and he talked about how VistaVision, changed movie viewing because it was so clear and the color was so beautiful, and it's pretty cool, actually. And then what else? Oh, yeah. That incredible choreography in White Christmas, that was Bob Fosse.
Oh.
But he's uncredited. And I always search for that, trying to find who did that choreography. And one of the dancers was George Chakiris. And soon after that, he won an Academy Award for his role as Bernardo in West Side Story. Mm-hmm. So how many times was White Christmas, the song, rolled out before the movie? You guys, do you know?
No idea.
Okay. So Bing Crosby originally sang it on the Kraft Music Hall on radio in 1942, and it was used in the film Holiday Inn. I remember that, where they covered all the holidays, not just Christmas, and Blue Skies in 1946. But here's the best part. Irving Berlin at the Academy Awards presented the Oscar for Best Original Song to himself, and he said, "I'm glad to present the award. I've known him a long time." And I love that. I absolutely love that. So there you go. And the other thing we need to talk about is that snow. That was asbestos.
Ooh.
The same stuff they used in The Wizard of Oz that was known as the magic mineral. Can you imagine? They
That
could have all
gives
been
you cancer.
He could have been dead.
Well, they're all smoking cigarettes and drinking heavy, so why not?
Exactly. Okay, your turn.
Oh, how about we'll stay in the How about It's a Wonderful Life?
Let's do it.
Which apparently the story is based on a Christmas card.
Really?
Yeah. So
did Frank Capra discover that?
apparently, no. It was optioned by Paramount or somebody, and they hung on to it for years. And Frank Capra, I think, bought it for like $10,000 or something back in
As they did in the day.
back then when it was like $80 million. But
That's a pretty nice Christmas card.
yeah.
Whoever
Someone wrote a
designed
script
that.
based on it. But
Definitely.
and James Stewart, it was his first movie after 5 years of military service in World War II. So he was a little rusty and kind of afraid he wasn't going to be very good. And Bedford Falls was actually filmed in Encino, California, in the middle of the summer on the
Great.
RKO Ranch, where they basically They built 3 city blocks to be Bedford Falls.
Good
it was like the
Lord.
biggest set ever built at the time.
And you know what? That must have been asbestos as well.
It was a mixture of a lot of things. And also it was filmed in 90-degree weather in California, so it was a dry heat. The movie did not do well when it was first released.
Yeah.
Nobody really saw it
was a hard
until
go.
1974, when it became public domain and it was on your local TV station at Christmas time. And after 75 years, stuff rolls into public domain, and you could kind of put it where you want. And about 20 years after that, they reclaimed it. So they could
Wow.
make money on it.
Wow, of course. There is that money thing.
Took
Yeah.
you 20 years to figure that out.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, it must have really been something. James Stewart suffering from PTSD from the war and being in that. That must have really,
Yeah.
really been hard.
Yeah. And it's a whole theme about, rethinking your life and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff, which a lot of Christmas, which is kind of the trope in a lot of Christmas movies. It's fixing a mistake. Somebody did something, or somebody forgot to do something, or someone is regretting something that they did, and the Christmas movie is about them trying to fix it.
Wow.
Like Die Hard,
I just watched most recent Frasier, the new
Oh, the
production,
new one with
and
Kelsey
it was
Grammer.
it was a Christmas story, and basically that was that script.
Oh.
Somebody's they're being brought back together. They will never talk to each other.
Yep.
Oh, but Christmas brings them back together.
Yep. Or
Lovely.
it was the eggnog.
I love that. Well, you know that originally, the part of George Bailey was developed at another studio with Cary Grant earmarked for the role. And when Frank Capra took it over, he rewrote it to suit Jimmy Stewart. Now, Stewart always said that George Bailey was his favorite role, his favorite character. But his favorite movie he starred in was Harvey, about the rabbit, the imaginary rabbit.
Yes.
I am not familiar.
You know,
Oh.
I'm telling you, you are going to the Turner Classic Movie Film Festival with me, and you
Okay.
will learn respect
I-
for all of these older films.
Just not seeing it doesn't mean I don't respect it,
You're too young.
If I said I saw it and it was poo, then
And you wouldn't
you
say
might
that
have a
about
problem.
this one.
But
It's funny.
Oh my gosh.
that brings us to our other quintessential 1989's Christmas Family Vacation.
Oh Lord.
With
Oh,
Chevy
my
Chase.
gosh.
A John Hughes script, by the way. There was a lot of
Yeah.
John Hughes Christmas stuff. Home Alone.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
He was on a roll with all of that.
Oh
stuff.
God, yeah. He was a really good writer. And Leonardo DiCaprio was originally almost cast
No.
as the lead. He was almost Macaulay Culkin. Blah, blah, blah. Can't say his name. Yeah. And the house that is his house was actually the Bewitched house
No way.
from the TV show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Elizabeth Montgomery from like way back? Oh my gosh.
And
Inside
it's-
shots or outside shots?
It's the outside shots, but actually, wait, I'm a little bit wrong. The house from Bewitched, that's where they shot the attic scenes where he has
Okay.
the movie projector.
Oh, okay.
And the winter stuff was shot in Breckenridge, Colorado, and the Warner Brothers Studios backlot in California. And it was, of course, all fake snow, blocks and blocks of it. And Chris Columbus was going to direct it, but he got moved to Home Alone. Also written by John Hughes. And because Chris did not like Chevy Chase. He met him and said, I'm not working with this guy. And the yuppie neighbor house in the movie was used in all Lethal Weapon films.
Really?
Yeah, and blown up many times.
Wow.
I love that.
Chevy, when he was upset about the lights not happening and he beat up the plastic Santa Claus, he broke his finger doing that. But he didn't stop the scene; he just kept going.
As they do.
And also, Randy Quaid's cousin is Gene Autry, who sings "Here Comes Santa Claus."
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Gene Autry.
Yeah.
Randy, the Quaids
Yep.
were related to the Autrys?
You bet.
That's
Well, you
amazing.
can almost see it. No, I couldn't see it. I can't believe that at all.
Like third cousins or something like that.
Okay,
I mean, but
all
they
right.
are related.
You know, there's so many Randy Quaid moments. I can't even go there. I mean, it's just,
and,
it's that ick thing that, you know, you just.
yeah, he went off the rails a little bit. And also, I met a guy that I worked with a few years back, Jeff Clark. He's a director of photography. He started his career as an assistant camera person, and he was young, so he was able to work on Christmas Family Vacation and able to run to another set. I can't remember which movie.
At the
it was.
same time, he
Yeah,
was like
yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth. I love that. Well, same thing that Bruce Willis was doing when he was doing Moonlighting, and oh, by the way, Die Hard.
And Back to the Future, too, with Michael Keaton.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox is running back and forth to Family Ties.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the way they did this. Oh my
To
God.
be young and not have to sleep.
Please, can we talk about the greatest Christmas music ever told?
Elf?
A movie ever told. And that's Die Hard. That's Die Hard. We must have a million things of trivia on Die Hard.
We do. Well, not a million, maybe just 5 or 6. But originally, Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger were offered the role, and it was an old script that had been in turnaround for a long time, originally suited for Frank Sinatra
Oh, ick.
back
That
in the
would have
day.
Is that
so
how
bad.
his song got in the end of the movie?
Well, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
And also, it's another movie based on fixing mistakes. You know, seeing his wife where they're on the edge of divorce, and also there are 7 Christmas songs, and the wife's name is Holly. You know, like the decoration.
Yeah. Bonnie Bedelia.
And it
Yeah.
happens on Christmas, and there's like 27 Christmas trees, and I think that's all I got.
I love that pregnant pause.
I love the delivery. Yeah, the delivery was perfect.
I can fill that in. So, how much money
The
did
note I
Bruce-
wrote was not in English, so I couldn't translate.
And there it is, folks. That is what it's like working with Matt Mickelson when you're me. Okay, we love him. He brings me hot chocolate. I can. How much did Bruce Willis make for this film? Do you guys know?
How much did who what?
Bruce Willis for Die Hard.
Oh, I have no idea. $20?
$5 million. And you know what? That was a huge amount because
Yeah.
he was an unknown with only moonlighting and they took his picture out of the posters because nobody took him seriously. And Clint Eastwood at one point had bought the rights to this. He wanted to feature himself in it. I mean, no. And
Oh, I could see that.
he might have been a little too long in the tooth already then. But
right.
anyway, you know the scene where Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman meet up? You know, they're kind of like mistakenly meet in a hallway. And Alan Rickman puts on that ridiculous American accent. They never rehearsed that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they wanted it to be just natural, and I think that really works. And the other cool thing about Alan Rickman, and I adore him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I adore him.
Well, this
I
is
always
his
have.
first like real movie
It
role.
was.
Isn't
He
it?
had just arrived in Hollywood, and here he didn't want to be a bad guy
Yeah.
because he knew he'd be typecast, right? And a couple funny moments when he tries to speak German, he actually gets it wrong. I mean, the German is actually wrong. You know,
Yeah.
And all his big goons, they only hired them to be tall and tough looking. They didn't care if they couldn't speak German.
Yeah.
All they cared was
Are
the
you
height
blonde?
and
Are you
the
tall?
tough. And one of those was Alexander Goodenough, the ballet dancer.
Yeah.
He was amazing. He was just amazing. But Bonnie Bedelia and Alan Rickman struck up such a friendship that every day they had lunch together.
Oh,
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah. And also, you know, it's not like it was Alan Rickman's first day out, he had been doing, British theater for like 10 or 15 years prior to that.
That's right.
Which is no joke. You really have to know your stuff. That's why, when he walked into Die Hard, oh, you only need me to memorize 3 pages of dialogue in this scene? No problem, Well, we're shooting in 2 minutes? Okay.
So, Bruce Willis went through 17 of those T-shirts.
Yeah. I
before.
always wish he found a clothes store somewhere in that building.
In
so he could
various
change.
stages of blood and filth, and he donated one of them to the Smithsonian,
You.
which I think is
a cleaning
great.
rag?
And it's Bruce Willis's favorite film. But did you guys know that in one of the big explosions, it was fairly early on, it was too much, it knocked the hearing out of his
really?
left ear. And no one has really known that he's always worn a hearing aid.
No kidding.
Isn't that something?
And now I know what the $5 million is for.
Yes. I mean, really, with what's happened to Bruce Willis, I think it's especially sad.
Yeah.
I mean, one wonders what these guys go through. But here's one of the best bits of trivia I found. So when he runs over the broken glass in his bare feet, how did they do that, right? They developed kind of like in Lord of the
candy
Rings.
glass, or?
No, they developed these rubber little feet to go over his own feet.
Oh.
Isn't that something?
He had Frodo feet.
He had Frodo feet without the hair. And if you look really close, his feet look really especially large. But he says that even if he watches the film now, he gets the heebie-jeebies when he sees himself picking
I get the
heebie-jeebies.
I mean, if you've ever stepped on glass, you're like, ah!
But there you go. I mean, this is really fun. So much of this was unscripted. They just
Really?
went with it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they went with it. And it was Bruce Willis that developed the yippee-ki-yo, Kaye thing.
Yeah.
And they went through different variations of that, but that one stuck. And I thought that was
I
really
would
cool.
love to see all the outtakes of the variations.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, hippy
Yes.
diddly doo.
Yeah.
Or, what else does he say? Yah-ha. Other Roy Roger things,
And here's one more thing. When making this film, cinematographer Jan de Bont got trapped in an elevator. This later gave him the inspiration for the opening scene of Speed in 1994, which he directed. Isn't that cool? I mean, the way inspiration
Well,
happens,
and then
my
all those
gosh.
movies came out that were basically Die Hard on a bus, Die Hard on a boat,
Actually-
Die Hard on a plane.
Actually, yes. Yes. It was just, yeah.
Because Speed was Die Hard on a bus.
It's just an amazing film.
Yeah.
I just adore it. I love Bruce Willis. I adored him in Moonlighting when he's allowed to use that sense of humor, but that sense of humor mixed with a kind of dark, cop thing who's seen it all, it just worked. A treasure.
And then he brought all that to the culmination of the career, to be on Friends.
Yes. Actually,
Yeah, you got to be the tough guy that was kind of
He
funny
was
and dark.
scary.
Yeah.
he was scary.
Because you just never knew if he was going to punch Ross or something, or throw him out of a building. I don't know.
Okay. And what else you got?
Oh, well,
there,
there's
Matt
The Family
Nicholson?
Man, my favorite Christmas movie. It's what
Okay.
Christmas is all about. It was almost John Travolta and not Nicolas Cage.
No way.
And also, Nicolas Cage accidentally punched Jeremy Piven in the face because Jeremy could not keep it straight during some scenes and kept giggling and laughing because Nicolas Cage kept cracking him up. But there was some video about he actually slapped him across the face, or maybe just kidding around. But
I love it.
that's how they played it off. And John Cheadle's character is actually Clarence from It's a Wonderful Life, because it's kind of the same story, with the little bell and, somebody gets their wings and all that stuff, except they just took out the part with the river. And they took out the part where he has to kill himself to, experience what life is like without him being there.
Yeah.
Or if he made instead of him not being there, it's just, what if I made a different decision? And he gets to see what would happen if instead of going for the money job, he went for the family thing, and he gets to experience that, even though in the beginning of the movie he thinks that's a bunch of hooey, or hokum, as the people would say.
Hokum?
Yes, which is long for hooey,
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, is that it?
I think that's all I got.
So I just want to read off a little short list of, movies we should look at. I mean, besides the ones we've mentioned, The Bishop's Wife with Cary Grant and Loretta Young, one of my favorite movies of all time. Oh, my God. And
Very good movie, yes.
The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh, how did we not even get there?
Really, it's wonderful. And they got better as they went on. The second one, I think, is better than the first one. Of course, Family Man. And then there's Gremlins. I mean,
that's a little intense.
It's it's creepy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's
if you go back
creepy.
and watch it today, they really,
It's
they
enough-
took risks back then.
That
or
scare
just-
factor for little
Yeah.
kids and, me at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I mean, just stuff where they would not even get near that today. Or just with who are we going to offend if we do this?
Like putting a gremlin in the microwave and cooking and
all the things,
the explosions. And,
Exactly.
And what about Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh, yeah. Tim Burton?
Yeah, always. And we've got Chris Sarandon
Basically
doing
Halloween, Christmas.
Exactly. And then Little Women. I mean, the variations on Little Women, it always ends up really being the centerpiece is Christmas, which is, it's that warm feeling, that wonderful kind of feel good, Love Actually, guys.
Oh,
Love
man.
Actually. I mean, who can forget Hugh Grant as the Prime Minister dancing down the stairs?
That is also quintessential.
It's fabulous. And Bill Nighy. I mean, it doesn't
As the
get any
aging
better.
rocker. I love that.
Oh, please. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
The best. And The Princess Bride. Believe it or not,
Not a
when
Christmas
Grandpa shows up to read to the kid, it's all decked out for holiday time, which
Okay.
shows that every cult movie wants to capitalize on the whole Christmas season.
And Columbo is from
Yes.
Ossining in
I
Westchester
didn't know
County.
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you remember Columbo in Wings of Desire, the German film?
No.
Okay, you were going to Turner
Okay.
Classic
You
Movies.
mean the original one or the
The
remake?
original one.
Okay.
In German. Oh, yeah, he's great because he can see angels, yeah.
In German?
He speaks in English, but
Peter Falk spoke German?
Peter Falk is in this movie, and he's incredible. It's an incredible film about an angel who does fall in love. It was remade later on. you
With
know.
Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan.
Well, you got it.
Not the best.
But the original is just stunning, and it's really a comment on post-war Germany.
Yeah, of
but
course.
to see these angels like leaning over people in a subway when they're considering killing themselves, and then they'll hug them, and then you can see the person start to think, "No, I'm worthy," and it's so divine. It's so subtle.
Do we know if that's on any streaming right now? I got to find it.
Wings of Desire.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and it's available right now on Max on the TCM channel. TCM.
But on
TCM.
Max,
Yep.
right?
That's
Okay.
where TCM is shown when you're streaming.
Gotcha. It's so confusing now.
I want everybody out there to go to the Princess Bride outtakes. You have got to see how they actually got through the Miracle Max scene with Billy Crystal and Carol Kane. The whole staff, they couldn't use half of the takes because everybody was cracking up. And Rob Reiner had to leave the room. because
Rob
Billy,
was the worst of the bunch.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And it was unscripted. They just let Billy
Oh,
Crystal
really?
go wild, which is why it's so great.
Oh.
It's just heaven. Oh, Matt, listen, I got to thank you for being here. We're out of time, and
thanks
it's a
for
world
having
of
me.
wonder when it comes to Christmas and New Year. And thank you again for joining me. And I hope everybody you'll join me at Center Stage with PamelaKuhn.com for more shows like these. Go out, find your own Christmas film. And Matt, take care of yourself.
I
Okay?
will.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the hot chocolate. All right, guys, to all my listeners, stay safe out there. This is Pamela Kuhn, and the curtain is now down on Center Stage.
Oh my god. Puppeteering is hard.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.